I enjoyed, I think, going back in time because we got a costume change. And that was fun. And it was kind of crazy, the going back in time. And I always enjoyed anything with the special effects. That was fun. I think what I enjoyed the most is when we got to the end of the day and we'd gotten through it, because that was, one never knew how that was going to turn out. But the kind of fantasy of going back in time was fun. I don't think I had any favorite dresses. No, Victoria was not stylish. Victoria was. But I had great eye makeup. Vinnie Lo Scalzo. I had fabulous eye makeup. I left Dark Shadows because I was pregnant, and that didn't seem a suitable position for Victoria to be in. I was also having some trouble in my pregnancy, so I had to lie down a lot and that kind of thing. So that was what happened. I was several months pregnant when I left Dark Shadows. I don't remember exactly whether it was 3 or 4 months pregnant, but I definitely knew I was pregnant and I knew I was having trouble. And also, I mean, what on earth could have happened to Victoria that would have made her grow and grow and grow? And would be a virgin birth? I don't think on Dark Shadows that would be right. A couple of years ago, I was walking on Madison Avenue, and this woman came up to me and asked me if I was who I was, and she looked pretty harmless, so I said yes. And she said to me that she had replaced me on Dark Shadows. And the thing that was so funny is that here we were, these two middle-aged women, when we had combs in our hair, we had the same hairdo. And it was just odd that we had kind of had this conjunction at one point of both being Victoria Winters. And we talked about that. And I think I asked her if she was bothered also by Victoria being the eternal victim, and she had been. And so it was just very funny. And she's a nice woman, but there were certain similarities, and it's rather odd to have somebody that's kind of a version of you, to meet that person. That was strange. I used to watch Dark Shadows in the later part of my pregnancy. In the afternoons, I'd kind of stretch out and turn it on. And I think at that point, the story had gone on to Kate Jackson was sort of the same type of person as Victoria. She had another character, but I think she was sort of she wasn't replacing Victoria, but I think it was the same type. I don't really remember. But it was anyway. I used to stretch out in the afternoon there when I was 7, 8 months pregnant, and watch Dark Shadows and see my friends, which was fun. I don't think I really understood what was going on, because I think they had gone back into even 3 or 4 more time elements, but I didn't really care because it was fun to watch. After I left Dark Shadows, I really found my joy in life being a mother. And I had a working mother, and so I was very, very grateful to have the opportunity, the luxury of being able to stay home and raise a child. And luckily I had a wonderful, wonderful child. It was a joy and easy to raise. And when he was older and he was in school, I went back a little bit acting, but it always conflicted with being a mother, because very often you get a job, you'd have to go out of town or something, and I didn't want to do that. So eventually I found work on production side in shows in New York, and then wound up at the Museum of Television and Radio working in curatorial, and then off, with a grown child and traveling all over the place making documentaries. For the last 10 years I've been making documentary movies, mostly all on human rights issues in history. And that's been fascinating, because I've met people who were activists or people who were suffered under blacklist. Now I'm doing a film on gypsy victims of the Holocaust, and that's taken me to Europe. And that's into a whole other world, of course. The gypsies are called Romani, and into their world. And learning, also trying to give a voice to people that don't necessarily have a voice, as with the people that were blacklisted, and in this case, with the Romani, who are kind of left out of Holocaust history. So I'm on the other side of the camera, and I'm the one doing the interview. And the very interesting and wonderful part is in the editing room when you put the story together. And then, of course, the best part is when you're in a film festival or in a place, your press screening, and people are there and they care about the story that you're telling.